Hi there folks, this is Adam with 8 Badge Gaming coming to you with the fourth and final gameplay video in our Gardevoir Gallade series, or Gard Gallade as I've been calling it. We are currently sitting at 5-0 across our 3 previous gameplay videos, with a couple of them being 2 short matches with our opponents scooping to our overwhelming Gardevoir dominance. More likely actually just their card stuckness, but oh well, we'll take the wins as we can get it. We're going to go ahead and hop right into the queue here now and see what we get paired against. We're hoping for some sort of tier 1 deck, as that does give us the ability to test how Gardevoir may be in an almost post-rotation or at least current standard environment. We are still looking for an opponent here, and I'm curious as to what we're going to actually play against. We've seen some interesting decks so far, and it looks like today we're paired up against Golisopod, Zoroark, and Gardevoir possibly here. We're going to call heads because we are dumb and we lose as we usually do. I think we're probably a 90% fail rate when we call heads, but I think that just might be our typical luck. We do get a Ralts here, which is good for us. We can go ahead and put a Ralts in our active, and we have a pretty good hand here. Thinking out the plan for our hand overall, we're probably looking to discard a card to Mysterious Treasure, to go for a Lele, to go for a full up Bridget first turn to suit up. Our opponent has the natural Bridget on their side, which isn't good for us, but we are still decently favored in this particular matchup, and that's because of the resistance that we have against the Zoroarks. So we do see a Golisopod, so it does look like it's Zoroark Golisopod here. We get an Oranguru on our side. So what we want to do here is we're going to Mysterious Treasure and discard the Oranguru. It's just a little bit too slow. Looking at our prizes, we have a Ralts prized, we have a Gallade prized, we have a Gardevoir prized, we have both of our field blowers, we're using a treasure, we have a candy in hand, we have a ball in hand, we have both of our Bridgets, we have a Guzma prized, so we've got a lot of G's prized. We have a Sycamore in hand, we have a DCE in hand, and it looks like we've got 2 Fairy Energy prized. So we're going to go ahead and grab the Lele here. Lele is going to go for that aforementioned Bridget. So let's go ahead for the Bridget here now. We're not going to use the Ultra Ball yet on our turn because we want to potentially have the setup. We're going to go for Ralts, and I don't think we go for anything else here. It might just be the Ralts. I don't think we need Mewtwo in this matchup. It's not doing a lot for us. The Ralts is just going to be a good card. I am a little scared of the Latios here, but we're just going to pass it back. Now, if he does, say, get a Float Stone on the Zoroark, a DCE on the Latios here, or he uses a Guzma to put up one of our other Ralts, we are going to be losing a Ralts and getting 30 damage on the other. Whatever one is not dead or damaged, we're going to put up into the active and look at evolving into a Gardevoir next turn. So let's see what he goes for now. We see an Ultra Ball discarding energy. He's going for the Zoroark. He's getting the card draw started. Now, likely he does have a draw supporter in hand, but he may not. But we do indeed see the draw supporter there from the Cynthia. He's probably going to go for a DCE here now, attachment to the Zoroark if at all possible, but he is going to start off doing the trades. We are going to be having a bit of a grind to get through here, but we do have a pretty good hand overall. I don't like discarding the DCE here now, but it does look like DCE plus whatever we draw is going to be the discard, short of us getting a straight Gardevoir off the top. So we do get an energy off the top, so we're going to Ultra Ball here, discarding energy and DCE. We're going to go for a Gallade, actually, I think. Oh no, we missed our chance to go for a Gallade. We're forced into going for Gardevoir here. If we had kept the DCE, we could have gone for the Gallade and been fine, but we messed it up. We've been making a little bit of punt here so far, so hopefully it's not going to screw us entirely. Now we are going to use Secret Spring to attach the energy from hand here, and then we're going to Sycamore for a full grip. We're trying to get suited up and ready as soon as possible, and Parallel City is actually a really good draw for us. So we're going to go ahead and Parallel City down here now. We're going to see what he discards. It's going to be the Latios and the Oranguru, which we're totally fine with at the moment. We're going to see what else we can do here. I think what we want to do is we Ultra Ball, discarding Mewtwo and the Cynthia, because we can go for a Kirlia. Next turn we can Gallade, DCE, Sycamore, and just go super deep into our deck. We're going to hit for just a bare minimum of 30 damage here onto the Zoroark, but he's not going to be able to hit back for a terribly large amount. Currently we're looking at a 3-shot coming from a Zoroark due to the fact of our resistance and the bench restriction. We do start to see the trades here now. He's probably going till he hits a Field Blower. Discarding Cynthia is an interesting choice. He does hit the Golisopod here, which isn't a great thing for us because Golisopod 2-shots us and gets the damage in first. Now, depending on what he gets here, he might not be able to get the Zoroark out of the active, which I would personally be totally fine with. If that's the case, what we might be able to do is if he can't get the Zoroark out of the active, unfortunately he does, he's going for Choice Band, Riotous Beating, getting some damage on us. So what I would like to do here now is straight use Rare Candy onto this Ralts, because that was actually a good top deck. On to this, we go for Gallade. We're going to attach a DCE. We're going to Sycamore to go significantly deeper in our deck. We hit a DCE, but no energy. How is this even possible? I am entirely curious how. So let's see. How do we go without getting a Fairy Energy and attaching our DCE for turn? We can't Secret Spring here. We can Ultra Ball. Let's see. We already have our Oranguru gone. We don't have the ability to shuffle it back in. We can Field Blower here, getting rid of the Choice Band. I think we get rid of just the Choice Band here. Let's see, we do a Premonition to suit up or set up for next turn. Show our playmat. We have Sycamore in hand, so we don't want any of that. Field Blower is probably going to be the best fetch off the top here, followed by Parallel City in case they blow their own, or get their own blower, I guess I should say. We do get to hit back for 90 here, which is good for us, but it's still not where we wanted to be. Just not hitting that energy there really kind of messed up our day. We needed to really desperately hit that Fairy Energy. Oh well, we're going to have to do the best of it now. Having 2 over Fairy Energy's prize definitely contributed towards that. We're going to be able to KO the Zoroark next turn unless he retreats it. We're seeing a trade here now. He's not going to be able to one-shot us without a Choice Band. Choice Band puts it up to 150, which will KO our Gardevoir. But short of Choice Band, our opponent is going to be a fair bit behind. We have already seen 1 Choice Band. I think the deck only does run 2. The trade's putting him so far ahead here now. He's down to only 16 cards left in deck. He has, I think it's 9 cards in hand. 9 cards in hand. Let's see what he does. If it's just another regular attack with a Zoroark, we're totally okay with that, as we can just give it a punch in the face. Now, I would imagine he's going to want to try and save the Zoroark here, if I were to imagine anything, and just discard the energy to retreat into Golisopod. That won't take the KO under the current situation, but the double puzzle of time will make it a KO on our Gardevoir. So we have to consider what we want here now. Counter Catcher is going to let our opponent suit up. Is he just going to go for the nudge, or is he going to try and get Zoroark fully tilted out here? We do see the choice band onto the Golisopod. Is he going to go for the retreat? He can't use the counter catcher just yet, but that's likely what his plan is for next turn. We do see a DCE attachment here, so 180 right now. Ooh, an N is a bad time for us. It means that he's going to be KOing our Gardevoir here now. He's messed up our potential plan for next turn. We have to hope that we hit one of our Guzmas. A Lele is technically a Guzma in this case. So we can Guzma up one of the Zoroarks and take a KO on it. He is going to max Potion of Zoroark, which is not good for us. But we can hope that the two prizes that we get will actually give us the equipment that we need. So we're going to be field blowing on our turn, I think, regardless here. We're seeing 150 damage. We're going to promote the Lele here. We need to go ahead here now. No Guzmas and Bin. We're going to Super Rod here. We want to get Ralts and Gardevoir back in the deck. I'd love to get some energy back in the deck here as well. So we're going to shuffle those back in. We're going to attach an energy to the Lele to be able to get it out of the active. We're going to use the Lele on our bench here now to go for the Guzma. We're going to Premonition on our Gallade to hopefully set up for the best available card draw next turn. So let's Premonition here. We are still going to be one shot, which is a bad time for us. Gardevoir is a good potential card off the top. Gardevoir. Ooh, the rare candy is not decent to us at all. So let's go Gardevoir and then everything else. Double rare candy isn't what we wanted to see there. Not in the top 5 cards. So now we're going to Guzma up here. Put up our Gallade. We are going to Field Blower the Choice Band because it means that he's not going to be able to one-shot a Lele. And we're going to do a Sensitive Blade here for a KO. So that catches us up prize-wise. The two prizes that we got were Energy and Gallade, which is not where we want to be. We really wanted to hit that Guzma to be able to go and take out another Zoroark. But our opponent's going to go deep here now. The counter catcher still isn't great for him. We are just likely seeing a Crossing Cut GX here, if I were to imagine anything. So we'll see what he goes ahead and does here now. Now, Crossing Cut would get out of the active. Float Stone on to the Zoroark. We're going to see a Crossing Cut taking out the Gallade here, but that only does net him a prize. And we do have another Gallade in hand if we have the ability to get to it. Having another Choice Band and an N again. How many N's does this deck run? Normally it's supposed to be a lower count, but that would be at least the second here now. Yep, that's the second N. We get ourselves a Ralts. And we're going to promote our Tapu Lele here. So let's go ahead and throw down our Ralts. We're going to attach an energy to Kirlia for turn. We're going to use Tapu Lele to go for a supporter. We're going to grab ourselves a Sycamore to just try and get deeper into our deck. Our opponent has 12 cards left in the deck to our 25. We're going to go ahead and Sycamore here. We're hoping to hit, we've got a rare candy, a mysterious treasure. That doesn't do it for us. How do we get out of this situation? We have a Ralts in the, or rather a Kirlia in the bin. We can Mysterious Treasure to go for another Kirlia, discarding the Bridget. So let's do Mysterious Treasure, discard Bridget, go for a Kirlia. We're going to evolve our other Ralts Having 3 Lele's in play right now is such a bloody liability that it's scary, and we're going to pass it on back to our opponent here. I don't think we want to retreat this Lele. They can't KO it outright, which is good for us. We're going to be able to retreat it to get it out of the way. I'd love to have hit an N over a Sycamore, but we didn't want to go for an N when we only have 4 prizes remaining ourselves. It's going to put us down in cards. Our opponent is diving deep here, discarding a Parallel City. They obviously don't want to put it down for us because they don't want to let us get rid of the Lele's. We're seeing a Guzma here going for the Kirlia. And he's going to take a KO using likely the first impression here or Armor Press. Armor Press is the safer move because it gets the KO and prevents some damage on the following turn. So let's go ahead and put up the Lele here. We might just have to go Battle Lele, so that would make it 120. It doesn't KO twice. Let's see. 2-shot. Let's attach a DCE, attach a Choice Band, evolve into a Kirlia. We're going to Sycamore to draw half of our remaining deck. We got ourselves Energy and Gallade, which is good, followed up by an N the next turn. We're going to Energy Drive here now. It's hitting for 130. He's not going to be able to KO us. He's not going to be able to easily retreat. Lele will be able to take a KO. We're in a pretty good position, short of him having, say, an Acerola. I don't want to see an Acerola here. It would be a really bad time for us, just to be blunt, basically. We see him going for another Wimpod here. Let's see whether he retreats the current Golisopod or not. Him keeping the Golisopod up would mean that Lele would be closer to a KO, but we are going to be able to end him down to really mess with his plan on our turn. I think we will be evolving into Gardevoir over Gallade because of the damage resistance, less damage from our opponent. Let's see what Puzzle of Time is buying back here now. Counter Catcher doesn't help him. Oranguru and Guzma does, though. He's likely going to Guzma up our Kirlia and give us a bad time overall. So let's see what he does here. He does go for the Kirlia. We're kind of boned here. I'm going to see him Enhanced Hammer on the Lele. Oh, that is a bad time. And going for 100 damage with the Zoroark here. So we're in dire straits here. Our opponent has just been getting the nuts, has been tearing us apart. There's literally nothing we can do. We're going to attach an energy to this Tapu Lele, a Choice Band to the other Lele. We're going to end to put our opponent down to one card in hand. Yes, we would like to do it, game. Come on. We do get another N, a Super Rod, which is nice. It's still not doing what we need to do here, so let's put in Ralts. We have Gardevoirs in there already. We have a Gallade in there already. Energy, I guess, is what we want to go for. Ralts, Energy. We can end our opponent down again next turn. They can't quite KO us just yet, so that's good. We can keep ending our opponent down cards in hand, but as long as he has the Zoroarks, he's just going to be able to win this game overall, I think. So I don't know what we can do here. I think this is going to be the end of our XO record. Oh yeah, just have the Guzma in the 2 cards in hand. He's not drawing cards due to the 8 cards left in deck at the moment. Brightest Beating's going to hit for 100. We need a way to get our Lele out of the active. We do get an energy, which is something. We can attach the energy here. We can go for an N to put us up some cards, which is, I think, what we do here with 10 cards left in deck. We get ourselves a Parallel City, which is good. We can Parallel City on him, force him to discard something. It's likely the Wimpod at this point. Yep, it is the Wimpod. We can get our Ralts down. Hope he doesn't have a Guzma left. Let's see. He's used 3 Guzmas. I don't think he has any more. We'll retreat into this Lele, hit for 110, and potentially go for a 2-shot. Now, that does mean he can just straight bring up the good old Golisopod on the bench to avoid getting KO'd. We have 1 DCE available to us. Our prizes are still Ralts, Gardevoir, Guzma, and Fairy Energy. He does get to trade deep here. If he has the 4th Guzma, we just lose. There's not much we can do there. He has been able to get a lot of what he needs. Oh, Acerola, why? 1 Acerola left. He hit it in 3 cards left in deck. Resource management here. He's going to try to go for the loop. We do get to end him down again. Oh, he's putting just 3 Guzmas back in his deck. This is a bad time, folks. We're going to go ahead and do an N. We still don't have anything we can do here. We can attach energy and KO on the Oranguru, which I guess we'll do to take a prize. He just needs to top deck a Guzma. He has a redraw chance here. We get a prize. It's our Fairy Energy. I would have loved it be the Guzma instead. He puts up a Zoroark. He gets 1 double draw here. Oh, deck, why? He just messes us up. So we're just going to give them the well played. They had everything they needed to just tear us freaking apart this game, my god. But credit where credit is due. They navigated this game extremely well and just went for the straight KO. So that does clue up our 4th and final gameplay video with Gardevoir Gallade or Gallade deck. It didn't work out the way we wanted it to be. We wanted it to be straight XO, and we ended up being X1. I will still take a 5-1 overall with the deck. It is still showing that it is distinctly strong, but when your opponent not draws, your opponent not draws. And when they're obviously a better player than you are, as we have that match, they can just essentially toy with you and have exactly what they need every time, or at least make it appear like that. Well, overall, it was a great record. I'm still happy with how it turned out, regardless of how frustrating that game may have been. I do hope you enjoyed the gameplay video today. We do greatly appreciate your viewership here at 8Badge Gaming. We always look forward to interacting with you, our community, hearing back from you, etc. And we do hope you continue to tune into our videos next week and into the final video in this series, which will be our deck review. As always, this is Adam with 8Badge Gaming, signing off.